Hello everyone, my name is Vianney, and today I'm going to be sharing my grandparents slash Mexico bracelet. This is one of the most meaningful bracelets that I do have, and I hope you enjoy the video. So jumping right into it, on one end I have this little guitar. It's a dangle, very plain barrel. This one, I think it was just named just guitar. I have this one as like a newer addition to this bracelet because it reminds me of the movie Coco, and since the movie is kind of themed about the Day of the Dead and family and kind of honoring those who have passed, I thought this one would go nice on here with this onto this bracelet. So since it is, part of my Mexican American culture. Next up is a little chicken. It's a little hen. It just got all this little like spawning around it. It's very cute. And I have this because my grandparents had a ranch, like a kind of like a farm in Mexico. And when I was younger, and we would go visit. And especially when we would go out and go to the ranch, there was always chickens, so this reminds me of them. Next up, I have this dangle. It's called the Strong Ox, and it has really long horns on it, and it's pretty heavy charm. It's the full-on, shape of a little ox. It's got a nice barrel. I got this one because my grandparents also on their ranch, they had livestock. They had a lot of cows, and they always had at least one bull. And I got this because one of my most favorite memory going to the ranch was always seeing the cows and the bulls. So that's why he's here. The next step is one of the Pandora club charms. This one is 2016, and I have this one because well, unfortunately that's the year that my grandmother passed away, and I just kind of have that on here, I guess kind of in her honor. It's really pretty hard, so that goes well because I really loved her. I loved both my grandparents, but this one was just a nice little bead to kind of represent her and honor her on this bracelet. Next up, I currently have this little car. I may change it if I find something else that suits this theme, but I have this one on here because whenever we would travel to see them, we would always go by car because of where we live. Driving, it actually takes us 3 days and 2 nights to make it all the way there to my grandparents and my parents' hometown in Mexico. So this kind of represents the long trip that we would take or choose to take sometimes, the car method, to go and see all of our family that's still there. It's quite a road trip. Next up, I have this. Unfortunately, I looked up the name on my older Pandora catalogs, and I just can't find it for some reason. But it's got 2 red enamel hearts, and it has gold crowns on it. So I got this because it kind of represents them too. My grandfather and grandmother always really loved each other, and they really respected each other, and that was kind of their biggest thing that they would show us, that with love comes respect, that it kind of goes hand in hand, and that if you have a significant other, just you should kind of treasure it, and just always honor them and do the best you can. My grandfather was so cute. He would always carry my grandmother's purse for him. Anywhere they went, they would go holding each other's hands, and he just had like a nice nickname for her. He'd always call her like mi polla, that kind of, I guess it kind of means my head, my chicken, but he would always say it in like a sweet way to her. So this just kind of reminds me of the love that they shared. Next up, I have this clip. It says family forever, and it was just, pretty, it just suits the bracelet and the theme. Next up, it's this red CZ, just because many of the things on this bracelet do have, just happen to have a red tone to them, so that's why that's here. Then this one is called the Dove of Peace. I have this one here because a couple of my grandfather's granddaughters, 3, and specifically my sister, I, and one of our cousins in Mexico, he would call us Paloma, and that means dove. So I got this to kind of represent the nickname that he had for her. He would also call us like mi polla, mi paloma, and so this dove just represents that very special nickname that he had for us. Next up is a cow, again, because the cows were always my favorite part when we would go visit the ranch when we were out there visiting them. Next up, it's another little chicken. This one is so cute. This one is actually from Moress, and it has little CZ wings and a little enamel. I don't know what that's called on a chicken, but it's so cute, this little hen. Next up is, I believe it's just called the piggy bank or piggy bank. I got this one because they did have like pigs for a little while on the ranch when I went, but they didn't have them that often as like I was growing up. They were kind of, getting out of out of like the custom of having pigs to like fatten up. So that represents that, but at the same time it represents an actual piggy bank because in Mexico they're very big on making pottery, and they make piggy banks in the pottery that they sell. And my grandmother bought me this really pretty piggy bank in the market there, and I've had that ever since I was a little girl, so this also reminds me of that. Next up, it's just called sombrero, and it is a little sombrero. There we go. It's got a little hollow on the inside. This one is so cute. This is one of my favorite charms, and it has really nice barrel with little beading, but it's got so much detail on it. Maybe I should close up. See, it's kind of got the way the little sombreros are typically woven. Some design on the side, a fun design on the side, and well, in the part of Mexico where my family is from, they don't necessarily use this style of sombrero. It's kind of more like an older style of sombrero, more to like just like the olden days, but this is the type that they tend to use in like the movies and stuff. But sombreros are still a very big thing. They tend to have ones that they weave out of sometimes leather, sometimes like older like dried husk from like palm tree leaves. So this one kind of represents that, just reminds me of that. Next up is a smooth heart clip. Again, it just kind of matches the bracelet because of the barrel, because of the clasp, which I used. Next up, this is actually called the corno. It's like a good luck horn, and I guess it's red. I guess because they tend to be red, I believe, red or gold, as like a good luck, I believe, or protection symbol. And I got this one because that is true. We always believed in like having certain beliefs for like good luck and for protection, and we believe, my grandparents were very big on believing in prayer. Like my grandparents would pray every single day for everyone in the family, so this kind of represents that. But at the same time, like a little like fun additional meaning is, since it is red, it reminds me of a pepper. So that's something very big in the Mexican culture. While I personally am not a fan of spicy things, but it just represents that at the same time, and it's really neat. Kind of looks like it has like a crown on it. Next up, it's an angel, and I guess this represents my grandmother and my grandfather, that they're angels that we have. But we have a couple angels on that side of my family. Two of my mother's sisters passed away when they were still young ladies, and one of her brothers passed away when he was a child, and well, of course, my two grandparents, and another aunt that was married into the family. So I guess this kind of represents just that we have a lot of angels looking over us, people that unfortunately passed away, many of them at young age in my mother's side of the family. Next up, it's another club charm. This one is 2015, and this one kind of represents my grandfather, because he did pass away in 2015, and that one was more of a shock to us because it was very sudden. So this one represents him, and it was really nice that this one is, you know, it has a crown on it, because, you know, he was the head of our family, and this one has more detail, so it's, I guess, more girly, and, you know, just more detailed as a woman tends to be, to represent my grandmother. Next up is this is just a regular heart. It's a pave heart. Again, it has the red. Just added this on here because I have a lot of dangles on here. Again, just the red color seems to be, you know, a trend throughout these charms. Next up, this one I think it's actually called horse/donkey, and in my case it more so represents a donkey. It's so cute. You can see the little horseshoes on the little horse donkey guy. I got this one because my grandparents, again, on their ranch, they always had donkeys, and I just love donkeys. They were always so nice. I would always take like corn and such, and I would feed the donkeys. And you can ride a donkey just like you can ride a horse, so we would get rides on the donkeys. And this just kind of represents like a little fun thing from my ranch memories, because my grandfather would always like give us little rides on the donkeys, and he would kind of ride us around in circles, or sometimes we would actually ride the donkey into the mountains there. So that's them. Next up, it's called the Makronichka, I believe, and I got this one's on here because to me this one reminds me of a grandmother wrapped up with like a little headscarf, a grandmother wrapped up in you know, any type of fabric that grandmothers just tend to do. You know, if you are some sort of like Catholic, it was a tradition that in the olden days, women would always cover their heads with like a headscarf or something when they went to like church or something. So to me, just like things like that remind me of grandmothers. And this one is really cute. It's got like an enamel rose on there, and she's got like little lips, eyelashes, eyes. She is double-sided, but she's so cute. That's what she reminds me of. Next up, the last one, it's this one, Wish You Were Here. It's a little postcard. It's actually like a French postcard, see, because of the bonjour. But to me, I have a picture frame, or growing up I always had a picture frame which had red and blue around it, and had like a stamp, kind of if it was like to represent a postcard, and I had a picture of my grandparents and I on it. So this represents that picture frame, which I always had growing up, and I still have it. And at the same time, the special message that it has, wish you were here, because that's true. You know, I really wish we had them longer. I wish they were here, but of course that's just something natural, and something that, you know, it's a given that eventually that's going to happen, you know, as we get older. So it just kind of represents a nice little memory and like a sweet little message. Last, I have it's the clasp. I have this one on the heart clasp, and I just thought this one was this heart clasp was was really nice because it represents, you know, of course, love, and the love that we share as a family. So this is a very special bracelet. It is currently, I think this is actually a 17 centimeter bracelet. And as you can see, these two are like falling off. I'd like to get, there's like a newer version of the heart clasp that has like a little like family tree in it, and I would love to get that one because maybe I would consider getting it in a larger size. That way I can still put all these charms but fit a clip at the end, or potentially a safety chain, just because this one is so special to me, and I really should try to have these charms as protected as I can. But yeah, this is a little like overview. I really love this one. I love the meaning, I love all the hearts, I love that it has all these nice dangles, and it's just very special. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe, give my video a thumbs up, and check out my other videos. I'm going to try to be making more videos with just like specific bracelets, sharing certain bracelets with you. Alright, but until the next one, bye-bye.